Okay, now our last and final slide is themes. Now, the theme is the message or meaning or idea that is conveyed throughout the short story. So it's repeated throughout the short story. The author usually gives a message throughout the whole story that it takes, it's told throughout. Okay. Theme. Okay, so these, many themes that Poe uses are used throughout many of his short stories, so many reoccurring themes. These are only a few themes, but they are the major ones. After I describe these themes, then we're going to read another passage in the text. Okay, so, whore. That's our first theme. So the Latin quote in the beginning helps sets the tone for this short story. The story is dark, gloomy, and disturbing. Aegeus feels that evil comes from goodness and sorrow comes from joy to create this whore-like image of the short story. Obsession. Aegeus is obsessed with Berenice and her teeth throughout the entire story. He has many obsessive thoughts due to his mental instabilities. Edgar Allan Poe has many themes of obsession in most of his short stories. Isolation, that's a big theme. Okay. Aegeus isolates himself in his ancestors' mansion throughout his whole life. He spends most of his time by himself in his own study, even when he marries Berenice. Okay, we're going to read another quote. It's on page 147. And, 145. Okay. The shutting of a door disturbed me, and looking up I found that my cousin had departed from the chamber, but from the disordered chamber of my brain and not, alas, departed, and would not be driven away, the white and ghastly spectrum of the teeth, not a speck on their surface, not a shade on their enamel, not an indenture in their edges, but that brief period of her smile had sufficed to brand in upon my memory. I saw them now, even more equivocally than I beheld them then. The teeth, they were here and there and everywhere, and visibly and palpably before me, long, narrow, and excessively white, with the pale lips writhing about them as in the very moment of their first terrible development. So in that paragraph, it shows Aegeus' obsession with the teeth, with Berenice's teeth, which is due to his mental instabilities. Because when you marry someone, shouldn't you be in love with them? Shouldn't you like them for more than their physical content? Like, emotionally, you should be attached. You should love each other. And in this case, this story, it's not the case. Okay, so our last theme is desire, which Aegeus limits his desires in this story, especially his masculine desires. The removal of Berenice's teeth might signify the removal of love and devoted desires between the two. So, because her teeth are out chattering on the floor, maybe their love is dying. Like they don't have any love, or they never had it in the beginning. As there's no connection emotionally with Berenice and Aegeus, but Aegeus ironically has that strong connection with her teeth and her physical contact.